tvrđavu izgradim. One bipujem, ne tipujem, ne pljujem sve što čujem. Sve pozdravljam sa smeškom, ne želim da vas trujem. Kad sam bio skoro prvi, pljuvao sam mnogo krvi. Mnoge sada grizu crvi, meni se i sada drvi. Na ono, na ovo, izvini što sam covo. Derao sam sve u kurac, pa sam novi bit sam skovo. Neke sejke iznad mene, neke omaje i promaje. Sam nova stara svetlost i uragan što te odaje. Kad ne znaš, kad nemaš, to gazi. Kad dremaš, budi uvek na oprezu. Stalno podrži na orozu, pa pucaj. Ne mucaj ili naprotiv glavom kljucaj. Rati rime sa svime, pa ti me tucaj. Imaš čime ako poznaješ mene, znaš da vreme mene menja. Svako ko loše prati reći ćeš da ovaj Kenja. Samo ja dobro patim, ako nemaš leđa čuti. Čuvaj mišljenje za sebe ili ga snimuj, snimi budi. Kao i svi, puni ti, pravo na mene. Ali sa scene, da lakše pratim kroz nišan kad kreneš. I stavi pancir i preko lica. Svaki moj metak je ubica. Nemoj si nekako. Slušaj šta ja kažem. Budjenje!
Zdravo, zdravo, vi gledate Budjenje. Sa vama Zmaj, sa outside, sa kamerou puta solo. To je naš specijalni gost direktno iz San Francisco, Jeff Chang, ili autor ove knjige. Pa ćemo raditi kratak intervju, da, ne može da stane, neće da stane, naravno o hip-hopu. Prvo pitanje, Borka, ovo je jedna od specijalnih epizoda Budjenja, budite sa nama.
You ask questions first me, then he, and
yeah, man.
you get it.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, first of all, this is Jeff Chang, the writer of this book, Can't Stop, Won't Stop, and he's our guest in this episode of Wake Up Show.
Awakening.
Because we are awakening.
Ah, okay. I have some good friends that did the Wake Up Show in San Francisco.
Oh, we
Sway and Tech, yeah.
Okay, you were in Belgrade, in Novi Sad, and today you are in Niš. Tell us the first impressions of Serbia and Serbian hip-hop culture.
Man, Serbia's got flavor, you know. Serbia. Dealing with the unpredictable all the time.
Yeah.
So I was just saying, I was in Belgrade, I was in Novi Sad, talking about the book and talking about hip hop with a lot of folks, and Serbia is got a lot of heart, and the hip hop heads are really serious, I think, about the culture. And the energy was just amazing. It was off the chain for me, and it was really humbling for me to be able to see that, because I'm in the U.S. and there are a lot of real amazing scenes that are happening in the U.S. But when I step outside of the U.S., I feel like that's where the real pure energy is happening, and you definitely have it going on here in Serbia. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How did you get an idea to write a book about hip-hop, and how Can't Stop, Won't Stop in the end finished in Serbia and on Serbian language?
So I started putting the book together about 15 years ago, a long time ago. But I was a hip-hop journalist for many years, so I started off writing about graffiti and writing about rap artists, and I was doing all that back in the late 80s and the early 90s. So I was part of a label called Soul Sides with DJ Shadow and Black Alicious and Lyrics Born, Latif the True Speaker, Gift the Gab. Out of that experience, I decided I wanted to do a book on hip-hop. So Can't Stop, Won't Stop came about because I was really interested in talking about the whole culture of hip-hop, the whole movement of hip-hop, but also the whole generation of hip-hop. So all of the social conditions, all the political conditions that impacted us, and then how we in turn, with the culture and with the movement, impacted the society as well. So what happened was the book came out in 2005, and I think around 2006 or 7, I started getting emails from Peja Vukic in Belgrade, who has been writing about hip-hop for many years and is part of the scene, and he wanted to translate the book, so he linked up with Zoran, and the two of them put together the translation, and it's been out now for a couple years. Huh?
Just like that.
It took them a while because it's a big, long book, and they did an amazing job at capturing everything, and they did an extra thing, which is they added all kinds of footnotes. So if you are coming to it from the point of view of Serbian culture, they bridge that. and some of the things that I was talking about and some of the things that people represented to me and that I put into the book. They put it into the footnotes. So it's big, it's extensive. You know, they did an amazing job, and I'm just really honored to have been translated by them and to have the opportunity to come and talk to you all here in Niche.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything is in it.
I nadam se ova bit će bolja, znaj. Svaki put iste želje, da mora da je groove. Sve teže je beži, bre, nema se odlazi. Imam hiljade ideja, ali sve manje pričam. Imam 1000 problema, ali sve manje vičam. Imam na 1000 reči koje još nisam rekao i sve manje vremena da to kažem nekom. Sećam se školske klupe, zamišljen gledam kroz prozor, profesor nešto priča, ne drži mi pozor. Ceo svet ispred mene, u kakve imao planove, hteo kule i gradove. Nisam znao za padove, niske udarce primam ceo moj život od tad. Ko bi rekao, i dalje stojim, i dalje mlad, ali u duši sam star i iznutra sve me boli. Ne umem da plačem, to nismo učili u školi. Daj mi još malo vremena da shvatim ovaj svet, da vidim šta je istina. Kaži mi u šta da verujem i kome, gde da krenem, daj pomogni mi u tome. Da li sam rođen na pogrešnom mestu u pogrešno vreme? Proklet da stalno imam neke probleme. Nisam izuzetak, ali ne može više ovako. Ili ne krene na bolje, ili ću nestati. Ako me čuješ, promeni me, nek mislim drugčije. Utopi me u masu, to nek me ubije. Ili pokreni taj točak sudbine, pruži nam šansu ili pogubi me. Kako objasniti detetu zašto? Kako mu odmah u startu reći baš to? Da duga je daleko i ništa nije šareno ko što se čini, hajde da čujem način. Pokaži dok sam ovde, posle mi nije bitno. Kad odem gore ili dole više nije hitno. U pakao, u raj, vodi me tamo gde misliš da treba. Za sada ja sam ovde, na ivici neba.
Svaki jedini put. Na ivici neba. Bože daj mi snage.
Ajmo glave gore, nije valjda tako teško. Ljudi žive život i bore se s greškom. Ceo svet oko mene ima mnogo još da dam. Promenit ću tokove vremena, to mi je plan. Ovde sam gde sam, na ivici neba. Sve mi je jasno, sve se vidi lepo, čuje se dovoljno glasno. Još samo malo snagi, malo vremena da shvatim ovaj svet, da vidim šta je istina.
život, pa nije tako teško.
Tell me, you're a man with a lot of experience in civil society, and you're a journalist and political activation and lecturer on Stanford. And tell me, did you notice any differences between civil society and acting of civil society in the USA and in Serbia?
You know, I don't know enough yet about the youth movements happening in Serbia. I know that they've been incredibly strong, and I know that they've always been about voicing, you know, opposition to authoritarianism, to terror, to war, and those things have been incredibly inspiring to me. I think that in the U.S. a lot of times we are, you know, it's easy to get so many different types of things in the U.S. There's a lot of access to different kinds of things, and so a lot of times I feel like American youths can't break through that, you know, and they have a hard time seeing through the different kinds of lies that might be perpetrated in the media, those kinds of things. And so hip-hop has been a force that I've seen that on some hands helps further some of those lies, but for the most part I've seen hip-hop as a counterculture, as a way for young people to get past the lies, right, and to be able to engage themselves in civil society. So hip-hop, to me, Barack Obama couldn't have gotten elected without hip-hop, because hip-hop in a lot of ways allowed people to imagine that there could be a black president. And then hip-hop also organized young people to go out and vote. And so those young people put Barack Obama over the top. And I say that hip-hop did that. A lot of people say that hip-hop did that. So hip-hop has the potential to be a powerful force for change in society. Globally, not just in my country, but in your country, in the Arab world. We saw it in Arab Spring. We see it happening in South Korea. We see it happening all around the place. You know, I see it every place I get to go to. I see all of these young people who don't feel like they have a voice being able to express themselves and to be able to represent themselves and to be able to engage that way in pulling in recognition from the state, from the mainstream society. It's a powerful thing.
Tell me, you mentioned Barack Obama and you live in San Francisco, San Francisco area. What's the relation between local civic society and some state institutions about hip hop, and do you get some any support in, I don't know, writing raps or breakdance or on the street, in the city and everywhere?
I'll give you an example. One of the things that happened in California was they tried to pass a state law that would have made it a felony to commit graffiti, and that would have qualified people for 3 strikes. So if you have 3 strikes, you go to jail forever, right? And this law also increased all kinds of penalties on young people, try them as adults, just trying to lock up more and more young people. And unfortunately, the proposition passed, but what happened was people used hip-hop to be able to voice their anger against this. And so they were able to organize a lot of people. So after that happened, what you saw is there was a lot more young people that are participating in politics. So now we've been able to elect people to the city councils, to the supervisors, to the school boards. We're beginning to get in there and take over.
Youth activists.
New activists and new voices and new change happening in our area, and that's not just happening in San Francisco, it's happening across the US, you know. So we're at the beginning of that, and I think that in that sense you could say the culture helped bring about the social change, the political change, you know, that cultural change preceded the political change and the social change.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the winner!
To jest maj dečko, treba mu kruh. Ja kažem nisam ja, to je moja šauma. Zajebam ko prašuma, nisam došao da glumim kuma. Samo ću da uzmem mikrofon i da vas oduvam. Strah loz je čuva, pa zato počni da se plašiš. Ja nisam depe ko čuberak Milan Stanko. Neću da budem drugi kao Oliver Katić. Ja sam ko prvi seks, uveć ćeš da me pamtiš. I varim, a još uvek ne znam da motam. Prodajem petparačke priče baš kao John Travolta. Ja pucam ali ne iz kolta. I nisam na prodaju, ne pitaj koliko košta. Mi sve ću da vas bičem, a ne zovem se Stojan. U stvari nemam ništa zajedničko kao taj čoban na traci. Nikad neće biti Rajović Boban. Preću umreti u Tvorzako Milošević Slobodan. I dalje smejem se, i dalje ljutiš se. To je my baby, za braću i sestre. Čeba trudiš se da skineš me. Ajde ruke gore, da pipnete zvezde. I dalje smejem se, i dalje ljutiš se. To je my baby, za braću i sestre. Čeba trudiš se da skineš me. Ajde ruke gore.
Ja sam siguran.
Kažu ko peva zlo ne misli, pa ja mislim. Kažem šta vidim jer u sranju živim. Svi ste vi isti, osnovi travestiti. Imate kitu, al se krijete iza pički. Džabe vrištiš pa ne jurim te sekirom. Imam samo nože za masno pecivo. I onda režem, zovi me Nero. Tebe zovem sinom jer jebem ti se s kevom. I ajde ribe mrdajte ta dubeta balava. Dok je repujem svoje sranje la la la. La la la, repujem u rajkama. La la la, jurim se sa babama. Kao žurko u klonji, samo smradove i sranje. Očistit ću te celo kao kvalitetno pranje. Uzvati poštovanje, ti imaš pare, ja znanje. Znanjem ti uzmem pare, šta imaš sad šamare. Smejem se i dalje ljutiš se. To je my baby, za braću i sestre. Čeba trudiš se da skineš me. Ajde ruke gore, da pipnete zvezde. I dalje smejem se i dalje ljutiš se. To je my baby, za braću i sestre. Čeba trudiš se da skineš me. Ajde ruke gore.
Rad je gotov stvar.
Kažu mi JK je teenage ikona, srpska diva. Pa ne bi joj dao ni veca da mi riba. Na TV-u sam čuo da želi da usta napumpa. Pa evo ja ću da ti ih napunim za džaba. Ima više plastike nego jebena barbika. Ima plastike kao jebena fabrika. I sve su iste, visoke su kao planina. A ja sam piroman, goreće kao planina. Sve same sise, dubeta, nije da mi smeta. Nego što misle da im je mozak ko pola sveta. Ispušene su puške poput albanskog cveta. Ja držim pištolj, da se ko mi je meta. Jer ja sam bio u zabludi 2 nedelje. Al Kobe mi je rekao ono što nisam znao juče. Da sve ribe ne pomišljaju na heftanje. Samo kad prelaze ulicu i kad ih juri kuće. I dalje smejem se, i dalje ljutiš se. To je my baby, za braću i sestre. Čeba trudiš se da skineš me. Ajde ruke gore, da pipnete zvezde. I dalje smejem se, i dalje ljutiš se. To je my baby, za braću i sestre. Čeba trudiš se da skineš me. Ajde ruke gore, da pipnete zvezde.
Is there some space for cooperation between our two countries in some common projects about hip hop and urban culture?
Yeah, I would hope so. I would definitely think so. I mean, there's so many things that that Serbian youth that I understand from these last 3 days, having just been immersed in the whole scene. You all are so much more advanced than we are in being able to understand how war impacts people. You know, on our side, we had September 11th, and everybody, you know, talks about September 11th, but, you know, we've never had a war on our soil for hundreds of years. So people don't necessarily really understand the upfront, close impact of that kind of thing. We need to understand that more, and I think in that way, we need to be able to build ties to learn so much more from the Serbian youth about, you know, how to address these types of issues, what the impacts of these issues are, and where we can all take global youth together in this new millennium.
In the beginning of the show, we talk about your book, Can't Stop, Won't Stop. Tell me what an ordinary book reader can expect from Can't Stop, Won't Stop.
It's a dope book, man. You know,
In short notes.
I put my heart and soul into it. I put my heart and soul into this book, and I was very honored to be able to work with DJ Kool Herc and Cindy Campbell, DJ Kool Herc wrote the introduction. He's of course the founder of hip hop, and I was able to work with a lot of the pioneers in telling some of those stories. And so what you'll get if you read the book is a lot of stuff that's just uncut, just straight from the heart, you know, straight from people. That's what I tried to do.
Like a song biography.
Yeah, and to put that into a context of this sort of 40-year history, right? 30, 40-year history. So, yeah, I think it's dope. I think you should read it. I think people should read it. Read the book.
Do you have some information how the people in Serbia accepted your book until now?
When you publish it? Yeah, no, I've been really honored these last 2 days to be able to present the book in Novi Sad and also in Belgrade and now here in Niš. And people come up and they want me to sign the book, and I mean that's really moving to me. It's really humbling to me. You know, one young woman last night told me that she read the book when she was 12 years old, and that she had read it so many times since then that I should tell my kids that she's like one of my kids now too. Instead of great, I adopt you. That was powerful music. It was really moving to me. Yeah.
You can mention Barack Obama in this show. Tell me, you made an interview in 2007 with him.
Yeah.
And does he listen to hip hop?
Yeah, he listens to a lot of hip hop. He listens to Jay-Z, he listens to Common. He's a big fan of Erykah Badu. I think he really likes D'Angelo and Joe Scott. You know, he's a little older, so he's a little bit more on the neo soul, kind of smooth out tip and that kind of thing. But as you can see, you know, like all the artists that have come out for him, that kind of thing. He's the first president really that knows hip hop. You know, that he can kick lyrics back to you. You know, and that was pretty. Yeah, that's pretty amazing. You know, he's not a hip hop generation head, but he's really close. So you know, for us, you know. We had a lot of hope in 2008. It's been a very difficult, 4 years with the economic crisis and all this pushback from the banks and the corporations and that kind of thing. And I think, we wish that he would have been a lot more with the people on issues like immigration, on issues like
everyday problems.
Yeah, everyday problems, education, immigration, incarceration too, criminalization of young people. But we have to be practical and we have to be real, and we I think are looking to try to figure out ways that we need to really establish ourselves so that our agenda gets heard in the long run.
When you came here, what was your expectation and which impression you take back to US about Serbia and about hip hop in Serbia? I didn't have too many expectations. I really didn't. I'll be honest in that I didn't know as much about Serbian history that I should have. I crammed a little bit before I came, but you still get here and you hear people's stories and you get involved in talking with people and really understanding what's been happening, and then you see everything around you. You see where the American bombs hit the buildings, and it really impacts you. It makes you really feel much different. So I'm going to go back to America and I'm going to be able to talk to people about how deeply I've been impacted. I'm going to be able to tell people this is what people told me in Serbia, and I can be real with them and be like, impressions that you might have of Serbia, they're not right. Serbian folks got soul. Thank you for
man.
part
Appreciate
of our
it,
show.
Man.
It's called Budjenje.
Budjenje?
For the end. I'm
Okay.
Jeff Chang and we are watching Budjenje.
I'm Jeff Chang and you're watching Budjenje. How's that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Nemoj da pogrešiš sine, ovo su pogrešne dine, a sve te osobe bliske zapravo logične pizde. Prljav ko sistem, rokam za dušu i obraze čiste, tačan ko Big Ben na bitu kad sekunde su bitne. Miris kinta ume da prevari, znaš kakvi su dinari na dlanu, imaš ih u planu još kamera treba ti. Nemoj reći lepati, možda poskupi do sutra, nemoj reći keve mi, možda ti sina rodi kurva, treba ti malo tog duha i prostor srednjeg uha. Ne pitaj kako do puta i sam skrenem pa lutam, ova šuma je gusta, vidiš da hodaš po lešini, dlaka ko uvuka s mesecom zavijam na ledini. Nisi jedini s preprekom, trčiš ako imaš prepone, igru vrtiš i nedeljom sve dok jebeno ne nestaneš. U Nišu dani zvezdani, a noći često sunčane, pomiri se il nestani u vrtlogu ispod tvrđave. Greške stvari su rđave, ako suze zbog isti krenu da puze ko misli šta je sve moglo, a nisi biti ko ponos u krizi ranjen, al nikako odsutan. Grešiti je ljudski sve dok ne postane odlika. Nemoj da pogrešiš batice, iskoristi prave taktike, jer tuđe greške su naivne, a sopstvene tragične. Niko ne kaže da lako je, a svako bi da te zajebe kad te greška samenje, ova zemlja te kara bre. Nemoj da pogrešiš batice, iskoristi prave taktike, jer tuđe greške su naivne, a sopstvene tragične. Niko ne kaže da lako je, a svako bi da te zajebe kad te greška samenje, ova zemlja te kara bre. Linija tanka korizla šta se moglo, a nisam slamka se klizao u inatu preko svakog davljenika. Tačno je sine, hoću deo profita u odnosu na šljaku, nije ovo trafika kita, daj mi kusur neću žvaku. U mraku smo pipali, a nisu bile ženske grudi, u visine smo leteli, umesto zemlja da se ljubi. A Srbi, ko Srbi ludiš kad gubiš pa se ljutiš, smrdiš kad mirišeš, mirišeš kada smrdiš. Teško se kupje kad se kupi, skontaš nije tvoje, jer ovde žive ljudi čije brze ruke rade svoje. Na veče kad sam rođen slavilo sam uzalud, jer pola ljudi nakon torte sad jebeno nije tu. Zagrebeš po prozoru pa nokti jezu dozovu, večito nas vozaju, oni što nemaju dozvolu. Nevažno ko što servira, greška je u predjelu, pa se osjetiš često ko mačka u kontejneru. Retki supci za testeru, ko trenuci za besbrigu, pa se prevara seče, bar da zaliči na nepravdu. Ožnici odrđe tetanus, gvozdeni snovi, pokisli lični ciljevi nestaju u strahu da ne pogrešiš. Nemoj da pogrešiš batice, iskoristi prave taktike, jer tuđe greške su naivne, a sopstvene tragične. Niko ne kaže da lako je, a svako bi da te zajebe kad te greška samenje, ova zemlja te kara bre. Nemoj da pogrešiš batice, iskoristi prave taktike, jer tuđe greške su naivne, a sopstvene tragične. Niko ne kaže da lako je, a svako bi da te zajebe kad te greška samenje, ova zemlja te kara bre.